Let's create our first print layout. And we're going to start off with a very basic print layout. We'll get into more sophisticated layouts later, but we want to show you a basic layout first so we can give you pointers that apply to just about any layout. So let's go ahead and try that. We're going to go into layout mode. We're going to create a new layout from the layouts menu. We're going to choose blank layout because I always choose blank layout 99% of the time. You can do whatever you want, but I find that it's a hindrance rather than helpful to use those assistants. They just slow me down. And I really want to, in this tutorial, show you all the nuts and bolts in creating a layout rather than have this assistant do it for you. That just really distances you from the actual features so you know less about them. So once you do know how to create your own layout, you may find, oh, well, this assistant will make it faster for me to do something in this particular scenario. But still, 99% of the time, I always use a blank layout. And then we'll call this print form. We'll hit finish. And what we're going to do is use the text tool. We're going to draw a block, click and drag, as big as the body here. We want to stop so that we make sure it's completely contained within the body part. And before this page break here, this is determined by your current printer at this point. You can set up margins, but we'll do that later. This is set up by your printer. And if you drug your body down enough, you would see one going horizontally across also. So these page breaks help you to determine what's going to happen with your printout. So we don't want anything cut off, so we're going to make it stop right here. And then we're going to type in billing. Now you may be wondering, why are we using a text block? Why don't we drag the fields on and put some text on there and things like that? Well, there are two different approaches depending on what you're trying to do, and you'll get better at this once you have more experience, but you have to determine before you're starting, am I going to use merge fields or regular fields? And a regular field would be using this field tool or this field control setup option. So in this case, I've determined already, because we're doing a word processing like entry of data, that it's going to work better. Most of our fields are basically in a vertical pattern. If we're going horizontal, it might be better to use regular fields, but it all depends on the situation. You have to make that determination before you start, or else you maybe end up doing something over again. This is also going to make it much easier to line things up, as you'll see when we go along. So you'll understand why we're using merge fields once we complete this. So I can hit the return key, and I'm right lined up with the word billing there. This is exactly what I want. And then I can go to insert merge field, and I can go find my first field, which is company. Click on it, click OK. Hit the return key, it's perfectly lined up. I can insert another merge field. This will be my address 1. I can hit the return key again, insert another merge field, put in my address 2. And remember that our address 2, a lot of these are empty. So we're going to see sliding happen also. There's several ways to do sliding, but the easiest way is with the merge field because it happens automatically. Then we'll insert another merge field. We'll go find city. And here's another advantage over merge field, comma, space. Merge fields work great with static and dynamic text. Dynamic text being these fields, and the static being what you type in from the keyboard, like a comma or a space or the word billing. And they work well because they work just like a word processing merge. In other words, if your city is real long, the comma and space will move over here. If it's short, it will move over here. It all kind of flows together. So we'll insert our next merge field. We'll go down and find our state with the type ahead. There we go. Type a space, insert merge field, and then we'll find our postal code. And here's yet another benefit of using this. I can come back here, hit the return key, and insert some fields I forgot. If you had to do that with regular fields, it might take a little bit longer to do. It might not be lined up as easily, things like that. We can now put in the first and last name. Type the space, insert merge field, and get our name last.